Philadelphia Philly manager says hello from Florida. Hello, Jared Joe. How are you today, pal? Okay?
I'm really good, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing well. Let's do that first since you're in the state. You seem to be pretty optimistic that they will start spring training on time. You think that there's a good chance, Joe, that you might be in Clearwater a month from today. Let's go through that for a sec. Go ahead.
You know, our first scheduled practice is February 17th, and I do believe there's a pretty good chance. You know, what we learned last year and how to do it, I think we're capable of doing it. I think we're still at the mercy of health officials in each state and you know, our country, but I definitely think it's possible. And I think everyone's shooting for 162 games. We'll have to see what happens. And as more vaccines roll out, I would think we would have more fans in the stands.
I think as we move it along this summer, I would agree with you 100%. Let's do the rules, Joe. What did you like? What did you not like in 2020? 10th inning, the 7th inning DH, the 3-batter minimum. Let me get your thoughts on those three. Go ahead.
I like the 7-inning doubleheaders because I think it keeps the stars on the field. I like the runner on second in the 10th inning. That was one I didn't think I liked, but I think it keeps a bullpen intact and you don't play like an 18-inning game and then worry, okay, we got to shuffle these three guys out of our bullpen. We really don't want to, but they have options and we got to get fresh arms. I'm not a fan of the 3-hitter minimum. I think it changes too much of the strategy of the game. And when you look for opportunities to put your club in a good situation to win, I think it changes it too much. And so that, and the DH, I like it too. You know, I wasn't sure how I would like that, but I think it's good that pitchers don't hit. You know, I happened to be managing the Yankees when we lost Chien-Ming Wang when he was running the bases.
So the DH scenario there is you'd like to see that change. You like to keep the DH for 2021. Were you happy? You had to be because he wants to win now and he's on his way to the Hall of Fame. How about the hiring of Dombrowski, Joe? What can you tell me on that? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I mean, he's obviously done a lot already, and he's on the phones every day. We talk every day about our club and what he's trying to do, and he wants my opinion, which is great. He's been great. And I loved Matt Klentak. I loved Matt, but I think Dave is a proven winner. Every place he goes, he wins. I do like hearing his Chicago accent, and he does love pizza. So we have those two things in common.
Very good. And, of course, the Phillies, Alvarado's got a big arm. Archie Bradley can get some outs. You've tried to address this bullpen so far in the offseason. Joe, thoughts on those two? Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been excited what we've done. Archie obviously has a big arm. Alvarado has a big arm, and you're going to see he has the ability to pitch up and get strikeouts. And that was one of the things that I think we lacked. We did not have a lot of big arms in our bullpen, and all of a sudden it has changed. And you add a kid like Connor Brogdon, who kind of came on strong. Coonrod, who has a big arm, he can get up to 100. We're a much different bullpen than we were last year. Now, velocity doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get outs. I mean, you still have to locate. But I think the strikeout potential is much bigger. And when you do get into jams, I think it's easier to get out.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't put the ball in play, and you get strikeouts, you're much better off. Realmuto, it sounds like you got a decent chance to bring him back. I know you're a fan. Give me some thoughts on that for a sec. Go ahead.
I think John Middleton, our owner, and the Bucks and Dave are doing everything they can to bring JT back. I mean, JT is a special talent. We all know it. And every club would love to have a guy like JT. There's nothing that he doesn't do. He hits for power. He hits for average. He runs the bases. He throws runners out. He receives well. He blocks well. He's a tremendous athlete. Now, Archie said that he would have been a better quarterback prospect than JT. They're both out of Oklahoma. I'm not sure about that. But I know we're doing everything we can to bring him back, and we'll just have to see what happens.
How about last year at the National League, Joe, managing, and I know you've done it before, but with the truncated spring training, then a restart, and then the 60 games, do you feel you got a good sense of the Philly team, or do you actually almost need some more continuity and a complete spring to get a real sense of your ball club? How about that for a sec?
I think I have a much better feel than I did going into spring training last year, but our bullpen has almost changed over completely. So that's what I'm going to have to get to know the most. I have a pretty good idea who our position players are, what they're capable of doing, what our starters are capable of doing, but our bullpen has really changed a lot. And that's what I'm going to have to get to know and to understand how to put these guys in the best possible situation to be successful.
DD, could he come back and play shortstop again? You knew him well with the Yankees. Give me some thoughts on him. Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought Didi had a really good year for us last year, and obviously, I loved being reunited with Didi and the way he plays the game, the energy, how the great attitude, how he's a leader, how he gets big hits. So there is a possibility. I know that we are interested in Didi, and I know that continues to. We're trying to move all these things forward and put our team together, but. I mean, he's a heck of a player, and he had a great year for us last year.
And this division's hard. The Braves are very good. Marlins, obviously, they hurt you a lot last year. They're improved. They're a decent team. The new owner with the Mets, and we know what they have done in the offseason, and then nobody can discount the Nationals. Made a couple of moves, good starting pitching. Very, very hard division. Top to bottom, without a bad team. And, a lot of divisions have a bad team. This one doesn't. Maybe not the great team at the top, but not a bad team at the bottom. Very consistent 1 through 5. Joe, thoughts there?
Yeah, I think you could argue this is the toughest division in baseball. When you look at the arms that you have to face on a regular basis, some of the offenses that you have to face. I mean, you have some of the young great hitters in our league, and Soto and Acuna Jr., you got to deal with the MVP, Freddie Freeman. I mean, this is tough. And again, we're going to play the American League East, so that doesn't make it any easier. But I agree. We have a tough division. I mean, the rotations are really, really good in our division. And sometimes it's tough to score runs.
Nola, top of the year. He needs to be an ace for 35 starts. Joe, little struggles at times last year in the big games. You feel confident that he is on his way? Give me a take on him. Go ahead.
I do. I think he has a tremendous work ethic. I think he understands who he is. He had a couple of rough starts at the end. I mean, and his rough starts, aren't really that bad. We didn't necessarily get off to a lead and score some runs. There were some times we didn't play defense behind him, but I like our rotation. I like how Wheeler and Eflin set up. I thought Velasquez made some strides last year. And at the end of the year, he was throwing the ball pretty well, and he was in and out of our rotation. And Spencer Howard, when he went to the first spring training, he was strong, and he threw the ball extremely well. When he went to our second spring training, he was down 10 pounds and never put it back on. He had a harder time working out. So we expect bigger and better things from him, and I like our rotation.
One last thing, Joe Harper. We've heard a lot about him. He comes to play every day. Give me a little take. I know he didn't have a great year. Give me a little stake. You've managed a lot of great players in your day. Give me some scenarios with Harper, dealing with him day to day and all those things. Go ahead.
I absolutely love his attitude. He wants to be in the lineup every day. And he was dealing with a back issue last year and tried to fight through it and fight through it and fight through it. And, there was one time I just said, we have to find a way to give you a day off, because he never wants a day off. But he plays hard. He's always prepared. He's a true professional. And I loved managing him. And I look forward to managing him again this year.
Great job, Joe. Keep in touch. Good luck. Let's get spring training going here and get you moving. Appreciate some thoughts.
Yeah, and I'd love to see you in person in spring training. That means we're turning the corner.